Boom. Keep him coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome back to my Journeyman series here on FM24. That's right. We have moved across, we have ported across from FM23. So those of you that have been on this journey with us, we've done 15 episodes on FM23, and now the 16th episode, today's episode, we will be on FM24. I did get the beta, I was playing the beta, I've just not had chance to do anything in terms of video outputs because I've been on holiday, been to Crete, which is a Greek island, with my family, and then I've come back, gone back into work, which has been a bit chaotic, so I've had some catching up to do, and I've also started some adult learning, which is like an enhanced degree, what we call a master's degree here in the UK, towards strategic leadership and management. So I've got a lot going on. As most of you know, I've got 5 children, 5 daughters. They keep me occupied a lot, and I've being away on a holiday, I've also got back into reading a little bit, so I'm reading a few different series and novels. I quite like fantasy novels, so I'm deep into a couple of different series on there as well. So I've got a lot going on, and I'm still wanting to play Football Manager, still wanting to put Football Manager videos out for you. So we are back. I finally got round to doing that, getting settled back into a normal routine, and finding some gaps in my little diary to find and play Football Manager, and then put some videos together for you to get out. So yes, this is FM24. This is the interface for FM24. It is similar to FM23. There's not much differences. I'm not sure whether you'll see much difference as I'm playing. There are some added benefits with things, particularly around transfers, about how you can sell players a little bit easier using things like intermediaries. They've also brought the Saudi Arabian transfer market into it as well, so particularly when you're a Premier League club, you do notice that the Saudi Arabian clubs are coming in a lot more with some decent offers for your not so decent players, which is always helpful. But I'm picking up right where we left off in episode 14. So as you know, episode 15 was just a bit of a bonus video showing you around some of the players that we'd coached, that we'd managed, and where they were at in their careers now, and how some of the clubs that we'd managed had progressed and where they were at in their stages. So we're back basically where we left off in episode 14 with Orlando Pirates. I did say to you that I wouldn't be going forward with Orlando Pirates anymore. So what I do is resign from Orlando Pirates. There's no other jobs available at the minute, but I do resign and just wait it out until something comes up. And a couple of decent opportunities come up. I've not managed in Europe yet, and I've not managed in South America yet. And my preference would have been to go to South America, but because the leagues run at different times of the Gregorian calendar to what European leagues do, there hasn't really been any opportunities. All the opportunities, because the South African league runs parallel with the European leagues, there's been opportunities from managers leaving or retiring at certain European clubs as opposed to South American clubs. So the opportunities have come from there. I can tell you that there were opportunities in Germany, Italy and England, all in top flight divisions, that we were looking at and considering. And we did apply for one job that we weren't successful in getting, which I think would have been a good step. It'd have been the next step up the ladder for us. But then another opportunity that we applied for, which was even higher than that step, offered us the job. So a top European club has offered us a job. So I will jump forward and show you who we're going to be managing next. We're going to Italy, and we're going to Napoli. Naples in Italia have offered us the job. I've accepted it, and I think this is an absolute wonderful opportunity. It's a massive step up from what we've been used to. I think the biggest club we've probably managed on our journey is Monterrey in Mexico, and this is an even bigger leap than what they were. I mean, Monterrey are a big club in North America, But Napoli are a massive European club, and in real life they've obviously just won Serie A last season, but in FM23/24 they've not been having the best of times. However, they did finish runners-up last season in Serie A. So even though they finished runners-up, they didn't have a manager. I don't know what's happened to him. I'll show you and we'll have a look. But yeah, the opportunity arose. The team that didn't want to take me on, that I applied for, that I thought I would have a better chance of getting, was Wolfsburg in Germany. And I've never managed Wolfsburg before. I have managed in Germany on previous FMs. In fact, FM23, I had quite a big Leverkusen save that I was pretty impressed with. But never managed Wolfsburg, and I was quite keen on getting that. I thought that would have been quite a nice step up, you know, kind of a middle table German team to try and do something with, but they went in a different direction. They offered it to somebody else, turned me down after the interview. But Napoli want me, and couldn't say no. So in terms of reputation, they are a 4.5-star reputation club. I'm 4 stars in my coaching, so I am punching above my weight, as they like to say. The fierce rivals are Roma. We were founded in 1926. We have a director of football and an assistant manager already. It does say here Serie A last season 12th, but I'm pretty sure they come runners-up. We'll have a quick look at that. Italian Cup, they went out in the 3rd round, and the Champions League, they went out in the league table. They play at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, so the stadium is named after one of their legendary players and one of the best players to ever grace the game in Diego Maradona. And they have state-of-the-art training facilities, superb youth facilities, and above average youth recruitment. They have a transfer budget of 50 million. Well, Bobby's going to get to work with that. And they have some decent club history here, a lot of trophies dating back over the years to 1926. So this is what their best 11 looks like, and I am going to say that we're not going to keep a lot of these because they are the wrong side of 30. In fact, some of them are sort of like 34, 35, particularly in defence, which isn't something I like to do. I prefer a young team. I'll always try and recruit young players that can play the formation and the press that I like to play. Old players can't generally do that. However, they do have a couple of key players here that I do want to hang on to. Desiree Doué in the centre of midfield is a fantastic player on this game. Really pleased that he's here in this team, and I think given his starting age in FM23, which is 17, he should be round about the late 20s mark, so he should be fine to keep hold of. And the right back there, Padilla, who is a new gen, is absolutely wonderful. The others in defence, Inacio, Satalo and Stanisic, would be great players if we were 10 years back, but they are all sort of like early to mid-30s, with high wages that we probably need to try and move on and replace. Raspadori as well, fantastic player at the start of the game and fantastic player for like the first 6-7 seasons, but we're like season 10, season 11 or something now, so he's the wrong side of the age bracket that we like. Samardzic as well, fantastic player on the game. He's a wonder kid, if that's how you like to refer to them as, at the start of FM23 and FM24. But again, he's the wrong side of 30 on this save now. And they've only just bought him. They bought him for like 25 million just before I came to the club, which was a bit frustrating because I'd have had 75 million in the kitty and I wouldn't have spent 25 million on Samardzic. I'd have gone on a young player somewhere else. But nevertheless, this is the team. Demands a new gen. He looks very, very good as well. But we'll just see how we go. Yeah, so in terms of honours, we're in 2034, and you can see here that they did actually finish runners-up in Serie A in 2034, and they won it the year before, 2033. They obviously haven't won it since 1990 on this version of the game, because it's an FM23 port, so the actual season of 22-23 doesn't count on this at the moment. So yeah, 2029 they finished third place in 27, 26. So they've been up there, round and abouts, for the majority of this save. They won the UEFA Super Cup in 2031, as well as the Europa League. Finished runners-up in 2033, which was last season. Italian Cup, they've not won that for a few years now, 2030 being the last ones. And Champions League? Can't see the Champions League anywhere on there. Must not have done anything in the Champions League. So yeah, this is the squad sorted by age. So as you can see from sort of like here up, it's all 30 plus, which is not something that I'm particularly keen on. So I'll try and move as many of these on as I possibly can. Van der Vaart's a goalkeeper, he's 32, so I'm happy to keep hold of him. I won't be deliberately looking to move him on, and Samadžić has only just come, so I won't be deliberately looking to move him on, because it just won't happen, because he's only just come to the club. So those two, Samadžić and Van der Vaart, I'll try to keep, or not actively look to sell if offers come in. Obviously we'll have a look at them. This kid as well's very, very good. He's 30, so I might keep him. He's another sort of like wonder kid at the start of FM23 who's very good. Quite like the look of his stats there. The other kid that we're telling you about, Desire Doué, what a fantastic player this lad is. I mean, look at those stats. He's an absolute baller. So only 16 caps for France, which is ridiculous. Media description, world-class midfielder. We will be trying to hang on to him as much as we possibly can. Absolute fantastic player. This is a new gen right back. Like I said to you, he looks very, very good. We'll be doing what we can to try and keep hold of him too. The interesting thing will be to see whether the tactic works in FM24, because a lot of the time you find a very, very good plug-and-play tactic that works wonders, and then when you try and port that across to the new Football Manager, so like I'm doing here from FM23 to FM24, I'm not quite sure whether the tactic I'm using will be replicated as successfully in FM24 as it was in FM23. So that will be interesting. What I'm going to do next is get to work with this squad. Let's have a look at the staff. Oh my god, the staff's horrendous. Recruitment's not bad, but we've got another 6 scouts and 4 recruitment analysts that we can get in, which should top these up to yellow. These are yellow, which is fine, but we can get another couple of physios and 3 more sports scientists, so Serie A sports scientists must be crap. But I'll do what I can to get these all up to yellow and have a play around with its squad and that £50 million. So I will jump forward to the end of the transfer window and rejoin you back there. Okay, we are back. We've jumped forward to the 2nd of September. The transfer window has now just closed. We played one game which we did win, which was good. But I will just show you the staffing. We've not fully finished. We've still got a few vacancies that we can recruit into, but it is all yellow. We have the best staff in Serie A, which is what I want. And I will always recommend for you to try and go do this. Some of you asked for tips on Football Manager 24. Get the best staff. Go get the best staff. Get all the positions you can. If you've filled all your positions and you've still not got all yellow, ask for more. Recruitment analysts allowed. Coaches allowed. You can pick which age group that you want to do. Keep checking in on these. Just because it says under 20s here at the minute, a few weeks down the line the main first team will probably come on that options here as well. So always ask your board for more staff if you've not got the best staff, but you've got all your positions filled, and keep filling those positions. So squad sorted by age still. We've only got 4 left, over 30. One of the players we had to keep, he was not really going to go anywhere, no offers were going to come in for him, but he's a squad player, he's not bad, we'll just keep him around. We're only paying him pittance in compared to salaries at this kind of level, so not too bad. Bazdar tried getting rid of, in fact he nearly went for 55 million to Real Madrid, I think. but he rejected the move at the last minute, which really, really annoyed me because it was 55 million up front. That we're going to go straight into the kitty. So that was a bit frustrating. Friendrup I've kept hold of. He's the club captain, and even though at 33 he's still fairly decent, and I couldn't really get hold of anyone else to fill that spot. So we've kept hold of him. The rest have gone. We've basically... I've thrown the club into massive debt by doing this, but I've basically spent a load of money. Let's show you the transfers in and out. So this is last season where they spent 185 million and brought 68 million in, and that is the last transfer there that you can see, which was Samadžić. They obviously had him on loan for the season with a 25 million option or obligation to buy, which was triggered at the end of the season. They only brought Desiree Doué in as well in the summer, which I didn't realise, for 76 million. So they spent quite a lot. I didn't actually realise that they only brought him in at the start of last season as well for 71 million. So they spent a fair old chunk of money last season. But did I spend more? Well, of course I did. I've spent 347 million. I've generated 160. Now, you might say, well, you only had 50 million, and 50 plus 160 is 210. So how have you spent the 347? Break down your transfer fees, people. That's what I do. Only give them X amount up front, and then do instalments or performance-based fees as part of that. So if I'm going to win Serie A, I pay another 2.5 million, 5 million on top of the transfer, etc., etc. For young players, I always put a percentage fee in as well. So, you know, the selling club might get 25% of the profit of the next sale. So when Napoli come to sell on one of these players, they might actually then at 25% of they'll have to give 25% of the profit to the club that they bought the player off originally. Makes sense. I don't really care about that because I'm not going to be here then when they sell these players. So I know that sounds wrong, and I do normally try to play it as though I'm going to be here for the long haul rather than knowing I'm going to leave after 2 or 3 seasons. But yeah, I try to play it normally, but I also need players in. So I think clubs do that. To be fair, that's why that option's there in transfers. So clubs do that anyway. So I'm not overly fussed. It's not going to impact me, but the club would probably do it anyway. So that's me get out clause for it. So yeah, this kid joined just before I joined, didn't he? So because he was here when I first arrived. Can't remember him. Oh, he's the German kid in the under-18s. Yeah, so he arrived just before I arrived. This is my first signing. Francesco Alberti from Inter Milan. Inter won Serie A last season, so I bought him from the team that won the league. He's a very young centre-back with high prospects and high starts. Look how good his physicals are. You know, acceleration and agility at 14, balance, jumping reach, natural fitness are all high. Pace 14, strength and stamina 13. He's only 20. You know, these are going to go up massively. This kid is going to be absolutely amazing. He's got a heading of 17, marking of 13. His passing needs to improve, but his tackling 16. But he's going to be a wonderful talent for years to come. He's now worth between 88 and 122 million after he's joined us. So he was a great signing. Malvika for 5 million, Giorgio Valia for 10 million, Lucas Pasquini for 40 million. He's the other centre-back. So these two are going to have to form a decent centre-back partnership. This guy is like a young Italian striker. Don't actually remember this kid. Oh, he's a right winger that I put in the under-20s. Rossini is a fullback, I believe. Yep, left back, 27 years old. He's got exceptional physicals as well. So yeah, we need a left back. He's come in to do that role. Raya was 17.5 million from Inter as well, but he's coming in as cover at right back for that brilliant new gen right back Brazilian that we had. I can't remember his name. Cardani has come in from Milan for 20 million. He's a centre midfielder who will cover for like Desiree Doué and Frendrup in centre midfield. He'll probably take over from Frendrup when he leaves. Walkenbach is a goalkeeper that we've signed from Borussia Dortmund. He's a young goalkeeper, young German goalkeeper who will only improve. You'll have noticed that Van der Voort left, who was the #1 goalkeeper, and the other goalkeepers that we had were all pants. Prendes is a left inside forward that we've brought, and so is Van Villiet, because we needed 2 left-sided inside forwards for our formation, so we brought those in. Daniel Berto from Betis for 45 million is an Italian goalkeeper who will be our #1 goalkeeper, and the other kid, Walkenbach, will play as his backup. This kid cost me 70 million. He is an absolute baller. Look at this, 22-year-old Brazilian striker, finishing 17, pace 17, acceleration 16, agility 18, fantastic physicals, flair 18, determination 19, off the ball 17, technique 17, composure 16. He's going to be a Ballon d'Or, this lad. I'm convinced he's going to be a Ballon d'Or. Excuse me. We got him from Sporting... No, we didn't. We got him from Palmeiras in Brazil. Thought we got him from Sporting Lisbon, being SEP, but no. Palmeiras. 70 million. So who has gone? Well, loads of players. And we've got rid of as many as we can to generate as much money as we can. I'll let Wessel Demand go to Real Madrid. I know they paid 71 million for him at the start of last season, so he's only done a year, and then we've sold him for 59 million, but I really wanted him. So I was prepared to take a loss on this lad. He was good, don't get me wrong. Wessel Demand is good. Look at his stats. You know, he's a great striker, but he's 28. And I know he's getting 400 grand a week at Real Madrid, but I think he was on high wages here as well. So we've let him go. I like a pacey striker, and he didn't really have that. And he's more of a deep lying forward than an advanced forward, but yeah, worth 80 to 119 now. I get that, but yeah, well, I wanted Diogo. I preferred Diogo, and I was prepared to let Demand go as a consequence. We've got a lot of money for Van der Voort, sorry, which is the reason why I let him go, and then the reason why I brought in Berto. Because I brought this lad in as a backup to Van der Voort, and then Van der Voort went, so yeah, brought Berto in afterwards. All the old centre-backs and defenders, Stanisach left, Sotalo somewhere, there he goes, 5 million down to Saudi Arabia, and who was the other one? Inacio, he's gone back to Portugal, went to FC Porto. So yeah, he went as well for 11.25 million. A lot of money for him. Yeah. Baldy. Baldy went to Nice. Nice Baldy has gone. So this is a squad. In terms of schedule, we played one. It was against Sud Itrol. We won 5-3. High scoring game. Quite sure what was going on, and we only had 2 friendlies arranged, which was a bit frustrating, but we won both of them. We are in the Champions League. We have can't see the fixtures like that anymore, can you? We have Inter Milan in our first game, which is good, home nation. Then we're away to Chelsea, home to Olympiacos, which is a winnable game, home to Slovan Bratislava, which is a winnable game, away to Leipzig, could be a bit tricky, home to Real Madrid, which will be tricky, away to Ajax, which will be tricky, away to Galatasaray, which will be tricky. So we'll see how we get on. What I'm going to do now is jump forward to the end of the January transfer window and see where we are. Okay, we are top of the table, and only because Milan have had a bit of a collapse. Milan was quite far in front, and for some reason have just gone on a bit of a streak, which I'll show you in a minute. However, we've done okay. lost a couple of games, which was a bit frustrating. Both away to Juventus and Atlanta, but you know, this is a top league that's very competitive. 4 draws away to Udinese, away to Milan, home to Lazio, and away to Roma, which I can kind of take. I wish I'd have won the game at home to Lazio. I don't like dropping points at home. I'd love to be able to play 19 games at home and win 19 games at home, but you know, it's not always possible. We've done okay in terms of goals for and against. It's not too bad. It's a very new team. You know, these players have not played with each other before, so it took a bit of time to gel. Just have a quick look at the schedule for you. So this is how we started. It did take a bit of time to gel. A lot of these players have not played with each other before, so it took a bit of time. We won the first game like I showed you, which we should have done against Sud Tirol, and then we're away to Spezia, which should have been a win, obviously. But then this is where we lost to Atlanta 2-1, which I'm thinking, ooh, that's not a good result, particularly when they had Højlund sent off after 38 minutes. Yes, Højlund is still here, been with Atlanta his whole career, never went to Man United. But then we bounced back, beat Genoa at home 4-1, which was good, but then we drew away to Roma, then I lost to Juventus, and I'm thinking, oh... And then we were at home to Salernitana, and we only won 1-0, which should have been an easier game. But then away to Fiorentina we played well and won, which I was really pleased about. I thought we were going to drop some points there. Home to Parma we won, away to Sampdoria. Sampdoria aren't a good team anymore, so that was fine. And then home to Lazio we dropped some points, away to Milan we dropped some points. But then we've been on a pretty good run, only drawing away to Udinese and winning everything else, which has been really, really pleasing. And I'll show you that in comparison to how Milan have done, because it's alright us doing this, but Milan were unbeaten for the majority of the season, up until recently, I believe. So... So this was Milan's start of the season. You know, they won all the games here, then they drew with Bologna, and then they drew with me, but then they won here, and then sort of like from here onwards, they've not had a particularly good run. Losing at home to Genoa, losing at home to Inter, losing away to Juventus, losing at home to Salernitana, drawing at home to Fiorentina. So that, you know, they've dropped here 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 points just in that space there. They've bounced back with a home win against Sampdoria, but like I say, Sampdoria aren't a particularly good side anymore. So, you know, our run of form kind of coincided with their drop in form, and as a consequence we overtook them. But, you know, for a long period I thought there were no way we were going to catch these, because they were just way out in front, like 7-8 points in front of us for a long period of time. Until recently. When it comes to the Italian Cup, we're through to the quarter-final at home to Bologna. We've only played one game, which was at home to Udinese. It took us to extra time, but we did the job in extra time and got through to the next round. Home to Bologna should be a winnable game. It should see us through to the semi-finals, but we'll see. Champions League has been hit and miss. So we beat Inter, which was good. Then we lost to Chelsea. We beat Olympiacos and Bratislava, which I felt we should have done. Lost to Leipzig. Thought it might be tricky. Home draw to Real Madrid. Thought that might be tricky, but you know, pleased to get a draw, really. Away to Ajax, we lost but then we beat Galatasaray 3-1, which was pretty good. We are through to the next round, to the knockout stage of the last 16, I think it is, isn't it? This is where we finished 13th, so we didn't automatically qualify for... It must be last 32 that you go through to here. And then these join in at the last 16, I think, don't they? I think, I might be wrong. You'll probably know better than I do, because I always forget. With this new Champions League format, I don't like it, to be honest. I prefer them to go back to the original groups. Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't get how you can just play... I know it's all randomised, but I don't get how you can just play a random 8 teams, and then that decides who goes through and who doesn't. It just seems a bit stupid. So yeah, so 13th, we're into the playoffs for the next round. So this is the squad sorted by average rating. Varley is at the top, but that's because he's just had 9 substitute appearances, but he's played really well. He's not scored or assisted many, but he has played well when he's come on. Dewey, no surprise to see him as the top of the list essentially from the regular starters. 12 assists in 28 games has been brilliant. And then Diogo, go Diogo, go. Go Diogo, go. He's scored 20 and 28. He's third, fantastic player. Bazdar, despite being listed, I've been using him because I thought, well, I might as well use him despite his age and my desperation to get shut of him. I might as well use him, so I have been, and he's been playing quite well, to be fair. He's been doing alright. I mean, I would like to get the 55 million for him, but while he's here, I'll use him, and he's done really well. Can't fault him. Fernandez has played well, Dooth played well. Frendrup wouldn't sign a new contract, and I wasn't too fussed with him being 33. He's leaving at the end of the season. He's already pre-agreed a contract with somebody else. And then all the other players are really just backup players. Bertie's the number 1 goalkeeper, but to be fair to Walcombe back when he's come in, he's done really well. Alberti's been a bit disappointing. I don't think 6.92, it's not too bad, but and he is young and can get better. Similar with Padil here. Hoping those two improve a little bit, and Pasquini. But the rest, Rossini plays left back. He's not been brilliant. But yeah, we've done all right. You know, like I say, it took a bit to gel together and kick on, but we've been doing that recently, and you know, because of Milan's fall from grace, it's really helped and put us top of the table. But can we stay there? Is the question. I do not know. I didn't make any transfers in January because we've got no money. And did I let anyone go? Just some players here. No big surprises, really. Yeah. Nobody of note left in January. Do you want to see the finances? It's not good. It's not good. We're 68 million in debt. That's getting higher. That's not getting better. The 68 million's not coming down. It's getting higher and higher and higher. And because of the way I've done these transfers, it's going to cause a massive problem for this club in the future. But hopefully not while I'm here. Right, I will jump forward to the end of the season and see what we're going to do with the live coming. Okay, we are back at the end of the season. We're top of the table. There's 2 games remaining, and we are 4 points clear. We've scored a lot of goals. Conceded quite a lot, though. Sampdoria have already been relegated. Sells Milan and Sassuolo have got some European qualification. It's quite tight below as well. So 70 points to 75 between 3rd and 6th. So they could alter around a little bit. We did lose a couple more games. So we lost away to Genoa and away to Inter. And then we drew some more games, which was a bit frustrating. A home draw with Sampdoria and a home draw with Udinese. We also drew away to Udinese and Salernitana. So, yeah, we've done okay. We beat Milan 1-0 at home, which is what's really extended the gap between us. We had some good wins away at Empoli and Lecce, and then we beat Cagliari 8-0 at home. Smashed them 8-0. So yeah, so I'm going to do the 37th game, the next game, as the live com, because if we win that, we win the league. If we draw that and Milan win, it still makes it close. So we might need to do 2 live comms. But we'll definitely do one, which will be the next game, which is against Bologna away. And then the last game is at home to Sassuolo, however you pronounce it. Probably butchered those. So we should win the league. I don't think either of those games are tricky. Bologna away, you know, going away, always potential to lose or draw. But Bologna are 11th in the table. And Sassuolo are 3rd, but we're at home. So I feel like the title should be ours. But we'll see. How did we get on in the Italian Cup? Well, we got knocked out to Milan. We beat Bologna at home 2-1, which, as I said, I predicted we should win and go through. And then we played Milan in the semi-final, who beat us at home, which was a bit frustrating, and then beat us away 3-2. Very, very frustrating. That was just a penalty. And then this one away. Actually, I think it must have gone to extra time, given the goals. I'm going to say I thought it had gone to extra time. I mean, we scored in the 95th minute to take it to extra time. And then they scored 2 goals in extra time to win the game. So, yeah. We actually won the game 2-1 and then lost in extra time. Never mind. But what about the Champions League? How did we fare in that? Well, we got knocked out in the playoff by Rennes. I don't know how we lost both games. I mean, I lost 2-1 away in the first leg, and I'm thinking, right, I'll just get them back at home and we'll beat them at home. No, 1-0. Michael Whitmore scored in the 17th minute, and then we just could not break them down and find a goal. Very frustrating, but these things happen, don't they, sometimes? So yeah, we went out of the Champions League earlier than I expected. So yeah, so only chance of silverware is a Serie A title. So here we are, away to Bologna. There's been some tough games against them this season. They've not been a walkover, so this really could be any result. I feel like we should win, given we're 30 points ahead of them in the league. But you never know, really, do you? You never know, particularly with the way things have gone in the cup competitions. Let me just mess about with these and make sure they're right. What I've been doing recently, I don't know if I've told you this before, but I have a laptop and a desktop, and what I try to do is play on the laptop, because I can take that wherever I go. So I'm playing kind of FM on the go, and then when I'm recording these, I do it on the desktop, so I have to, just transfer everything across from the laptop to the desktop to make these recordings. So sometimes my settings will be one thing on the laptop and different on here, because I don't generally play the games on here. Alberti's injured, which is not good. So who should we bring on? We've got Raya or Rossi? Or Marchini. We'll bring Marchini on. I think he's probably the better bet. Centre back or striker, apparently. Marchini. Quite sure how that works, how he can be one or the other. Very distinctively different roles. But I think you find that with these new gens. Well, that didn't go well with some of them, did it? That team talk. Thanks, assistant manager. Yeah, I find that with the new gens that come through is that they have like weird positions. Like, they can play right back, they're out and out roles right back, but they can also play left wing, and it's like, what? Not much action, is there? There's been no highlights whatsoever. And we're approaching the 70th minute. It's ridiculous. What is going on? Oh, here we go. We do have highlights. I was just checking whether the highlights were on. Prendes. Oh, just bends it round the post. It's been a decent signing, Prendes. One of those that will grow into the squad, I think. Oh, Frendrup. Prendes again just bends it round the post. All the action's coming at the death. We've got another highlight here. Bologna's goal kick. Falls to Rossini. Prendes, Doué, out to Bazdar. Back to Doué, Bazdar. Padini's lost it again. It's not been great, him. Rossini's picked it up again, though. Bombing down that left. Whip it in, lad. Whip it in. Delia's put it in, but it's been pushed away. Frendrup's now got it. The man that's leaving has scored the goal. The captain, who is due to leave the club at the end of the season. Oh, it's just gone wide. Could have scored the goal that's going to lift us the title. What a fairy tale ending to his career with Napoli this is going to be. And that's it, ref. Blow the whistle. We have won Serie A at the first attempt with Napoli. After what was an extremely difficult start to the season, where I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. And my tactic's not going to work for FM24. But it's worked alright. We've lifted the title, not done so well in the cups, but you know, we've lifted the title, and I've won one of the major European Super Leagues, which is fantastic. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be able to do in the summer, though, given the finances, which I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, we've won Serie A. So I'm not going to go play the last game and show you that, because there's nothing really else to show you for this season other than some of the average ratings, which did drop off a little bit. I'm a bit surprised that some of these dropped. We've not got many over the 7. If you remember from some of the other teams that I managed, most of the squad were over 7. But a lot of this squad is below the 7 mark. Still high, 6.9s and 6.8s, but you know, not as consistent as we've been seeing in previous teams. Doué and Diogo, standout performers. Fernandez, like I said, on that left-hand side, started growing into his role a little bit. I think he's going to be a key player next season. He's had 20 goal contributions in 31 games. Bazdar, I think, will probably leave, hopefully. Welcome back could be the new number 1. Berto played 24 games, but Welcome back did far better when he was playing. But yeah, I think we've got a decent side. Samardzic is leaving. He's going to go join Salzburg. And Frendrup is leaving. He's going to Saudi Arabia by the looks of it, picking up all that cash after winning Serie A with the last kick that he will have for Napoli. Wonderful. Finances, though, we're at 83.5 million debt. My transfer budget's 134,000. I don't know what we're going to do in the summer. I don't know what we're going to do. There's players we need to replace. I'm going to have to look at freebies or loans or something if they don't give us any funds, but I don't know. We'll see. Come back for the next episode and have a look. Although we have won Serie A, so maybe I'll move on. I don't know. Maybe I'll move on. I don't like staying just 1 year, but we won Serie A, so always have a look. This is a Journeyman series. We're not forced to stay for long in certain places. Let's have a look. See what happens. Let's see. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you don't subscribe, your view is the most important thing. It's great that you've tuned in to watch this Really appreciate it. FM24's here, ladies and gentlemen, and will be here on this channel for the foreseeable until FM25. This is the last version of this game engine for Football Manager. FM25 is going to be a complete overhaul using different game engine, be a different format and everything, and so really looking forward to that. But you know, for now we've got FM24, and like I say, really appreciate your view. Please leave some comments. You know, it's great to see engagement down in the comments. I'll respond to every comment that's down there. Might take me some time, a few days, a week or something, but I will get around to replying to every comment. And if you like the video, please like it and share it wide and far. Really inspires me to keep going. So thank you very much, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a nice day, and bye for now.